This is my Kawasaki Ninja 250. It's a 2006, and when I first got it, it was kind of in shambles. It didn't run, it didn't start, it had been in a crash. You can see I haven't fixed it completely, but there's scratches here, brake here. These aren't OEM. There's scratches you probably can't see, but there's scratches on the muffler back there. But I got it for free, so I was like, I can't lose if I try to fix it up and I just absolutely break it. So I have zero experience and I just tried it. So first things first was there was no fuel getting to the engine at all. And it did have a clogged carburetor because it had been out, it was crashed, and then it had been outside for 4 years with no maintenance and not starting at all, so that was pretty insane. But the gas tank was like all rusted. Couldn't get any fuel out of the gas tank at all. So I had to clean that out somehow. I even looked at getting a new gas tank, and they were like $700, which no. And I'm just like, this was done months ago. But I cleaned up the gas tank by doing electrolysis. I put like an old wrench inside of the gas tank filled with water, hooked up some electricity to it from a transformer I ripped apart from a microwave, and it worked. It actually got a ton of rust out, and then I hit it with a pressure sprayer, and then it cleaned everything out. There's still some rust in there, so I put a fuel filter on, and you know, I've been riding it for like a year now, and it's been fine. It's been great, actually. Let's see, what else did I do? I put some leather fixing stuff, some leather patches on the seat. And then I rebuilt the carburetor. And I must have not done it good enough, because I did it one time and it got it working, it started, but it didn't start on its own power. I would turn it on and it would sit there and crank until the battery died. But I would just use a spray, and so every time I would ride it, I would just use a spray and spray the starter fuel in the air intake, and then it would start up. I was kind of sick of that, so I ended up rebuilding the carb again, and instead of just cleaning the parts, because I didn't have one of those shaker machines that cleans it, I just bought new parts. So hopefully that fixes it. And just to show you guys what was going on every time I was starting it and why I had to use the starter fluid, it's I'd crank it, and it would just, nothing would happen. So this is what I would have to do every time. Take the key out, unlock it, take the seat off, and get a little starter fluid, spray it in the air intake, and then it would actually start and I could actually ride it. And so I'd have to carry that little spray intake bottle or starter fluid bottle everywhere I went in a backpack whenever I would ride my bike. And as you can imagine, that was really annoying, so let's get this thing fixed. First step is just taking off the gas tank, which is undoing all of the tubes connected to it, and then screwing it off and pulling it out. Wasn't bad at all. Let's pull the gas tank out and move on to the next thing. And let's just remember here that this bike is really old. The name of the game of this bike is good enough. Good enough. We just want it to run and to be fun. It's not going to look pretty. It's probably not going to be the best way that I could possibly done it, but the name of the game is good enough. The next thing is we're just going to take the carburetor off, which is the main culprit of this whole situation, and I'm removing the throttle lines right here, and they were a little harder than I anticipated, but we eventually got them out, no problem. Now the next thing are these carb boots. They go from the carburetor into the engine, and these were not that bad to get off, but putting them back in, you'll see later on in the video, was just a nightmare. This is a prime example of good enough.
Beautiful.
Broke the fuel line, and you know, who cares? We're going to replace that. It's not going to be exactly how it was. but it's still gonna work. Okay, so we got it out. No digital mechanisms here, just pure mechanical. Put the air in, go faster. That's sick. Okay, now for the fun part. I don't really know what these parts are called, but we're taking the top caps off. There's little springs in them. I don't know what those things do, but you know, we're gonna put them off to the side. We're really just going for the jets. And maybe the float valve that are going to make the biggest difference. And I just bought a little pack to replace those things. I'm pulling these things out, and I'm just going to put those same ones back in. But the jets will be fully new. The idle jet, most importantly, I think is the one that we're looking for. But ultimately, it's good just to pull it apart. You can see there's rust in here. Just pull it apart and give it a good clean. It's going to make it run a lot smoother. Alright, we're getting to the old jet here. I'm going to show you. It doesn't look too bad, but compared to the new one, it definitely looks old. If these things get clogged up, it can cause your carburetor not to properly mix the air and the fuel ratio to send to the engine. It can run really lean. Usually it's running lean. In my case, it was lean enough to where it wasn't even starting. So hopefully replacing that's going to fix it. And you know, while I got the carb pulled apart, I'm going to clean the rest. I'm going to just replace some things that are dirty, and hopefully we can get this thing running in tip-top shape. I just put the final screws on the bottom. There's, I think, 8 screws on the top here, and we're ready to go. Put this thing back in. Remember earlier how I said how difficult these boots are to get back on? Yeah, this was about 30 or 40 minutes even of me putting this thing, wiggling it back and forth to get it back in between this small space and make sure that it fits. Finally got it. Let's put the gas tank back on, screw everything back in, and see how it runs. Can't forget the new fuel filter because I broke the other one. This one I just found an AutoZone, and I think it's still going to work just fine. And it starts great. I'll prove it. That seems really normal, but that is really awesome for me. To not have to carry around a little thing. Sadly though, I am selling it. Because I want to do a bunch of other stuff. This is my daily driver car. I want to fix that up. Their check engine light is on for a catalytic converter and a new turbo. And then ultimately probably sell that. And then I just bought this, and I'm going to make another video about that.